white race, they feel it in their heads and their tongue speaks. And he said a Shoshone feels gratitude in his heart, and the heart has no tongue.
Well, after the massacre, those remaining survivors made their way north, south, east, and west from this spot, and they never really came back and followed the old traditional ways of returning to the area. They stayed far away from this place as possible because at that time the Army was still hunting them. It changed our culture, our way of life, because we could no longer roam as free people. We were the game in a hunt. And by that, we had to survive any way we could. The feeling that we have today is you come to this area and it's peaceful, it's quiet. You can stand here and immerse yourself in history. You can close your eyes and you can hear the people. You can hear the cavalry, you can hear the soldiers, the shooting, and you can hear the songs, the death songs that were sung, the screaming of the women, the children, and the hollering of the men that were there. You can almost basically see it in your mind what happened that day. And the only reason that they survived was because of that river. My great-great-grandmother made that swim across that river, carrying a child on her back. And she was also pregnant. During that swim, she lost her child. The child floated down the river someplace. They never found her.
I think one of the things that happened was that there was this lady that was living at Washakie when my mother was a young girl, and she as she became older, I guess you could say her mind started becoming wandering, and sometimes she would go into these fits, and she would run out of her cabin, and there would be an old stove in her front yard, and she'd run over to the stove and she'd take a blanket and throw the blanket over the stove, and she would jump on it, and she would tell everybody, I'm riding my horse, I'm running away, follow me. And so she would relive it over and over until the day she died. And for every group of people who manages to live through something like that, you do carry it with you. The same way as people or men and women who go to war, they never quite come out the same when they go into battle, when they come back out. They never tell you what really happened or what they did or what they saw. They come back changed. It changes you. The effects of the massacre have been both good and bad. I've never been raised on a reservation. I don't know what it's like. I've never gone to a reservation school. And what you want to do is you don't ever want to forget, but you need to forgive. And hope it never, ever happens again.
But what I see among those people is a great source of pride, a sense of survival and tenacity, and an understandable honor that they know they have coming from such a great people whose entire world was turned upside down, and they managed to survive, and not only survive but thrive into this new world we're in now.
I think, what I would like to say is that thank you, Matt, the rest of your crew, to me for opening up your hearts and your minds to take on a project like this. It's not easy. And I hope that people learn from history. Sometimes I think we don't because there's still wars going on out there. People are being displaced. But you're taking a history down and you're seeing the resilience of the people who didn't let it get the best of them. And for you to allow me to speak and to tell just one small part of my heart, I thank you and the work that you boys are doing and the rest of the people that are behind you to allow you to do this. Thank you.